What's the matter? Ever seen a clown before?
Good people, you are truly fortunate to have as a friend and colleague John Wayne Gacy, a good man.
Actor Mark Holton is back for another epic conversation, sharing insight into his intense portrayal of the notorious serial killer John Wayne Gacy. Super excited, guys. Let's do it.
I have to tell you something. What? I've been kind of naughty.
Mr. Mark, welcome back, sir. It's always an honor. Gacy 2003, was this a role that you auditioned for, or was it something that found you?
It was a process of going in to the casting director's office and reading on tape, and then the director reviewed, all of those auditions, and then had a callback. And I went back in the callback and read with him, and I got the role.
And was there a lot of prep on your end?
I didn't have time to do prep. We rolled pretty quick right after I was cast. Yeah, I followed it. Back then you didn't have the internet, or I didn't have the internet anyway. I was familiar with John Wayne Gacy and his crimes and sins, and I never wanted this to be something that would inspire that kind of demonic behavior.
Of course.
But they're out there, and if I hadn't played the role, someone else would.
Well, you carried the movie like a champ. Again, I loved your performance. They showed the infamous crawl space right at the beginning of the movie. Was this was this a location, or was this something that they had to build?
Well, it was a set that we built, but I went to the location the morning that they had started setting up, and somebody from the crew walked up and said, "This is the exact floor plan of Gacy's house."
Wow. And with real bugs, right?
oh God, yeah. They had a Roach Wrangler, and he brought Madagascar giant hissing cockroaches because they read better on camera. And I took a couple home to my kids in one of the little plastic, cages or whatever you get at the pet store. And I smelled something, and I went over, and one of them had started to lay eggs.
Oh, man.
So we went to the burial at sink really quick with the incinerator going, and there was a lot of crunching that went on with that.
That's definitely creepy. Well, I sent you a photo where you see Gacy at a cemetery. Was this a deleted scene? Because obviously it wasn't in the final film.
The director was all over the place. We'll get more into that later. And he had something that he wanted to insert in the film, in the script somewhere, but he didn't know where. Something about Gacy's relationship with his father. So Gacy's supposed to be at his father's grave, wailing all these years later. It was shot in the Los Angeles area National Cemetery. But it's weird that picture's even on the internet. Still photographer, I guess, threw it out there and liked the pic. And
gotcha.
I have to tell you something. What? I've been kind of naughty.
My favorite scene is where Gacy breaks down and confesses to his friend, and I love the emotion and the dialogue. You did a great job, man. I mean, can you tell us about that day? Was it a tough scene to shoot?
That day was pretty crazy. I don't label myself as a method actor, but a lot of stuff was coming out. I mean, you use whatever tools are in the toolbox, and that day it was pretty heavy. And of course, the actor that I was doing the scene with helped a lot. But that day got even crazier. They decided to switch locations, and it was a time sensitive because they were racing the sun. So they said, "Okay, take your car, and we need to go. We need to go now. I want you to drive to this park." I didn't know where the park was. It's rush hour. I get in. The tags are, FUBAR on this vehicle. And the front seat of it, they had already dressed this as a set with tons of prescription pill bottles. And remember what I looked like at the end of the scene you just mentioned. So I finally found this park. And it was also I could take a big wrapped up rubber dummy and throw it over the side of a little walkway. But that was pretty crazy. I rose a little hell about that. So I could be in jail right now. Who's running this asylum? Anyway, I made it home, no handcuffs.
So it was a bit of a horror story behind the scenes as well. Was the director just difficult to work with?
I think he was just totally overwhelmed, and he got very defensive. There is a scene where Gacy is sitting on the couch with Charlie Weber's character, and they're both stoned and they're drunk, and Gacy is hallucinating. He's hearing these voices, and right out of frame was one of those giant ladders that just telescopes out of the top of the V formation, and the director, in the middle of a take, climbed up the ladder and took a book of matches and started arcing lit matches down at me. And the first one I thought, what the hell is that? And then the second one, I caught him out of the corner of my eye and went, son of a bitch is launching matches at me while the camera's rolling. And finally the cameraman went, hang on, we lost a light or something. I got one hell of a flare on that. So he called cut. The guy, on the ladder, he blew up at him and said, nobody calls cut on my set. Who said that? Who calls cut on my set? Call cut, only me. Went into one of those little tirades, and we're going, oh shit, okay, all right. So finally, take whatever, action. And now he has this tiny toy. And it's a Jack in the Box. And we hear, ding, 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 ding. And the sound man calls, sorry, no, I'm not supposed to, but I'm getting some kind of music from somebody's phone, somebody in the building. But it's on the sound. Well, another tirade. Now I'm going, this is crazy. I've been crawling around in bugs. Now I'm dealing with the director throwing this stuff. He's launching lit matches at me, and he's sabotaging the scene. Well, I don't know if this was some kind of exercise from the East End of London theater experience that he had come from, but it was just pissing me off. And so I stood up off the couch and I gave him the finger, just pointing. I said, you do not follow me. I'm going to go outside and have a cigarette. Do not come out there. I'll be back in here when I'm ready. I walked out and Charlie Weber came out. I'm smoking a cigarette. And I said, Charlie, I think I'm going to quit. I think I'm going to go change into my street clothes, wipe this makeup off, and I'm just going to leave. I cannot make this film. And he's going, well, yeah, I understand, whatever. He was real cool about it. I'd halfway through the cigarette, and after Charlie and I had stopped talking briefly, I turned around and I looked at everybody redressing the set, at the number of people on that crew, and how far we were in. That film could never have been finished. So, calmed myself down and went back to work.
Did he ever explain why?
No, he didn't. Sent me an email, and it was a very nice email. He said, I didn't realize how big of an asshole I had been on that set. And I was, kind. It was like, well, it's all water under the bridge now, so. onward and upward.
That's so crazy, man. I mean, to hear these stories, I mean, we as the audience, when we watch the movie, I mean, what we see is what we get, whether it's a horror movie, drama, whatever. But sometimes, what we don't know is that it's even more dramatic or horrific behind the scenes. And I'm just glad that you that you hung in there. And again, you carried it like a champ. Director aside, do you have a favorite scene or moment in the film?
It's the male prostitute pickup scene. I thought that scene was probably the best scene in the movie, and it was probably one of the creepiest things I'd ever done. It was not my wife's favorite scene.
Well, Gacy-wise, it was pretty spot on, right?
Yeah, it was way too spot on.
Yeah.
Even cops get horny.
Well, again, you definitely rocked it out. It's scary that all of this happened in real life. It's very sad. And of course, our hearts go out to the families and everyone, still affected by this story. I truly hope that they are able to find some peace. Mr. Mark, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Last episode was awesome. This one's awesome.
Man, I tell you what, your production quality, when I look at how slick it is, when I look at your editing and your sound, I sent the last one we did to Michael Leavy.
Really?
He did all the Terrifiers. He's done a bunch of other stuff, including Stream with me, and we're good friends or whatever. I sent it to him, and the first thing he said was, "That's the way it should be done."
Oh, dude, that's so inspiring. Oh my gosh, that's thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mr. Michael. If you're watching, I really appreciate it, and it means a lot. And all of you inspire me so much. And I'll definitely have to reach out to Michael, maybe have him on the show sometime. So I'm a big Terrifier fan. I love Stream. Mark, you definitely had an epic kill scene in that one. And there's a lot of, horror icons in that movie. I mean, I just loved it. It was so much fun. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate you being here.
I appreciate it, Chris. Take care, my friend.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, check out Gacy. Mark's performance is just so epic. If you haven't seen Stream, check that out. That's another fun movie. Everybody's awesome in it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for believing. Happy Father's Day to all of you and your families. And we'll see you soon. Cheers.